Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. If today were the last day of your life, would you want to do what you are about to do today? I think the things you regret most in life are the things you didn't do. My favorite things in life don't cost any money. It's really clear that the most precious resource we all have is time. I think if you do something and it turns out pretty good, then you should go do something else wonderful, not dwell on it for too long. Just figure out what's next. Sometimes when you innovate, you make mistakes. It is best to admit them quickly, and get on with improving your other innovations. We're here to put a dent in the universe. Otherwise, why else even be here? The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. I'm as proud of many of the things we haven't done as the things we have done. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. Quality is more important than quantity. One home run is much better than 2 doubles. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I believe life is an intelligent thing, that things aren't random. Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful, that's what matters to me. I'm an optimist in the sense that I believe humans are noble and honorable, and some of them are really smart. I have a very optimistic view of individuals. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. Technology is nothing. What's important is that you have a faith in people, that they're basically good and smart, and if you give them tools, they'll do wonderful things with them. We don't get a chance to do that many things, and everyone should be really excellent. Because this is our life. Life is brief, and then you die, you know? And we've all chosen to do this with our lives. So, it better be damn good. It better be worth it. I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. When you're young, you look at television and think, there's a conspiracy. The networks have conspired to dumb us down. But when you get a little older, you realize that's not true. The networks are in business to give people exactly what they want. It's not the tools that you have faith in. Tools are just tools. They work, or they don't work. It's people you have faith in or not. Yeah, sure, I'm still optimistic. I mean, I get pessimistic sometimes but not for long. Let's go invent tomorrow rather than worrying about what happened yesterday. Simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean to make it simple. But it's worth it in the end because once you get there, you can move mountains. I always advise people, don't wait. Do something when you are young, when you have nothing to lose, and keep that in mind. The doers are the major thinkers. The people that really create the things that change this industry are both the thinker and doer in one person. The really great person will keep on going and find the key, underlying principle of the problem, and come up with a beautiful, elegant solution that works. You have to be burning with an idea, or a problem, or a wrong that you want to right. If you're not passionate enough from the start, you'll never stick it out. You get your wind back, remember the finish line, and keep going. Every day, you discover something new that is a new problem or a new opportunity to fit these things together a little differently. You should never start a company with the goal of getting rich. Your goal should be making something you believe in and making a company that will last. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. All we are is our ideas or people. That's what keeps us going to work in the morning, to hang around these great bright people. I've always thought that recruiting is the heart and soul of what we do. When you grow up you tend to get told that the world is the way it is and your life is just to live your life inside the world. Try not to bash into the walls too much. Try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. That's a very limited life. You can't just ask customers what they want and then try to give that to them. By the time you get it built, they'll want something new. You know, my main reaction to this money thing is that it's humorous, all the attention to it, because it's hardly the most insightful or valuable thing that's happened to me. Creativity is just connecting things. When you ask creative people how they did something, they feel a little guilty because they didn't really do it. They just saw something. It seemed obvious to them after a while. Be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. We are inventing the future, Jobs told a job applicant. Think about surfing on the front edge of a wave. It's really exhilarating. Now think about dog paddling at the tail end of that wave. It wouldn't be anywhere near as much fun. Come down here and make a dent in the universe. When you're a carpenter making a beautiful chest of drawers, you're not going to use a piece of plywood on the back, even though it faces the wall and nobody will see it. You'll know it's there, so you're going to use a beautiful piece of wood on the back. For you to sleep well at night, the aesthetic, the quality, has to be carried all the way through. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. I think different religions are different doors to the same house. Sometimes I think the house exists, and sometimes I don't. It's the great mystery. For the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. My model for business is the Beatles. They were four guys who kept each other's kind of negative tendencies in check. They balanced each other, and the total was greater than the sum of the parts. That's how I see business. Great things in business are never done by one person, they're done by a team of people. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. The overall point is that new technology will not necessarily replace old technology, but it will date it. By definition. Eventually, it will replace it. But it's like people who had black and white TVs when color came out. They eventually decided whether or not the new technology was worth the investment. Older people sit down and ask, "What is it?" But the boy asks, "What can I do with it?" As individuals, people are inherently good. I have a somewhat more pessimistic view of people in groups. And I remain extremely concerned when I see what's happening in our country, which is in many ways the luckiest place in the world. We don't seem to be excited about making our country a better place for our kids. We hire people who want to make the best things in the world,